Spend a lot of time thinking about my past, especially as I get older. I think back a lot to growing up and just life in general from when I was younger. So I've made a lot of poor decisions throughout my life that have led me to where I am. And oh, I think that's kind of how life goes. Life is all about making decisions and making choices. And I wouldn't say I've really come to regret many of those choices. I think it's taken me a long time not to regret some of the poor decisions that I've made. For instance, school, not going to school more specifically. I don't really regret not going, but there was definitely times that I did feel like I was just making a horrible decision or that I made a horrible decision. And it's taken me a long time to just kind of come to accept that, as silly as it is, because it's the choice that I made. So it's kind of hard not to accept that when I'm the one that did it. I'm the one that caused it. I'm the one that chose to do nothing, chose not to go, not to learn, whatever. So it's just taken me some time to kind of accept that in a way that I made that choice. It's my decision to make, and whatever faults that have come from it are no one's but my own. And I suppose I'm just trying to do a better job at accepting all of the decisions that I've made through my life and trying to live without regrets, because I don't really regret much of the choices that I've made or much of the life that I've lived. I don't think there's much of a reason to regret. Life is long, and I don't want to spend majority of my life pondering over what I could have done differently or what I did wrong or anything of that sort. I don't think it's worth the time. I don't think it's worth the mental energy of beating myself down, saying like, oh, you could have done this better, you could have done this differently, you should have done this. I just don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth the energy. Life is too long to sit and wallow in the past choices. But there's times that it's a lot harder to just move on from things or accept things the way they are or the way they were. It's not always the easiest thing to just accept it and go on about it, you know? It's it can be tough, especially depending on what the situation was. Trying to think of some better examples as I'm getting chased down by all these monsters. But, you know, I think my best example is definitely school, not going to school. I think it's led to a lot of different situations in my life that could have been avoided or just different as a whole had I have done things a bit differently. That is a horrible sound from this zombie villager. You are disgusting sounding. I just don't want to live my life regretting my past or regretting the decisions that I make. Life is all about making decisions. Every day you're making decisions on what you do, getting up, going to work, going to school, eating breakfast, whatever, small little decisions for sure. And regret can come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. Maybe you ate some Taco Bell for lunch and a couple hours later you're in the bathroom and you're like, wow, I really regret eating that for lunch today. But it can be bigger things like, I don't know, like not kissing that girl or something. And years later down the line, you're like, wow, I wonder what would have been different had I actually kissed that girl. Maybe we'd be together today or something. Better or worse, doesn't matter. It's over. It's the past. It happened. Whatever choice that I made was the choice that I did. And the that's just how it is. That's what you're stuck with. There's no changing the past. There's no going back in time and doing it over. As much as there's been times I wish I could, I try to not regret whatever choices that I've made. I try to just accept it, move on from it, and keep going, because Life doesn't really slow down for anybody or ever. Just continues, just keeps going, never stops until you're dead. And if that's how it's going to be, then why would I want to spend my time thinking about the choices I've made and the decisions that I've made and the things I've done right or wrong, for that matter? It just seems like a bit of a waste of time to me. And I know there's some things that you just kind of can't avoid. I mean, at least for me, the whole reason I'm making this video is because I wouldn't say full of regrets, but I catch myself in these moments, especially late at night, where I'm just sitting and thinking and wondering, like, did I make the wrong decision? Did I make the wrong choice? Did I do something wrong? Should I have done something differently? That actually just scared the shit out of me, but I try not to. I try really hard not to. That's kind of the whole point of this video, is me saying how I'm trying not to regret decisions, but sometimes you just can't help it. Up at 3 in the morning and you just start contemplating your life and contemplating the choices you've made and the things you've done, and it's kind of impossible. And now, like I said, I don't think there's many things that I regret, at least not many big things. I've tried to come to accept things, tried to, that's not good, tried to just continue my life and accept the things that I've done and the choices that I've made, whether they were fully my own or if there were outside influences as to why I made that decision. It's just how it goes. It's just life. As I said before, it never slows down. It doesn't stop for anybody. So I don't think there's much of a reason to live stuck in the past, thinking about what could have been or what you could have done. And I'm a bad person to tell you that, because like I said, I spend a lot of time thinking about my past. I spend a lot of time thinking about what I could have done differently or what I could have done better, what I could have done just in general. And it sucks, to be honest. Sucks getting stuck in your head like that and thinking about all kinds of past decisions and past choices, but I think it's just a part of life. It's something you can't really avoid, as much as you're stuck with your brain, but your brain isn't always your best friend like it should be, you know? Tends to like to rehash some of your most embarrassing moments or some of your questionable choices. At least for me, I have a tendency to harp on about stupid decisions or embarrassing moments and thinking to myself, like, why did I do that? Whatever. And it's just, and it's annoying to say the least. And I wish I had more control over it, seeing as how it is my own brain, but you can't really control it, at least not very well. I can't. I've been trying, but I still, to this day, I find myself just questioning things. Just this weekend, I was up, as I am, and I don't know what time it was, probably like 3 in the morning, and all of a sudden it just hits me, and I'm just like, should I have made that video I made a couple weeks ago? I was having a meltdown. I was really depressed. I was just sad. I didn't really know what to talk about. I just wanted to talk, and I just kind of came on here and vented all my problems, and I sit here and I was sitting here and I was just thinking about it, and I was like, should I go and delete that video? Was that stupid of me to make? Was that a good look for me and my channel? Like, what is that gonna mean for my reputation that I'm kind of building here? Am I just forever gonna be this sad, annoying, complaining, whatever? But as I sat and thought about it, I realized, like, why do I care? It's done. It's over. Sure, I have the power that I could go and delete the video that I don't like or whatever, but why would I? What's wrong with it? What's so bad about just embracing who I am and what I was feeling at the time and what I'm feeling at any time? Why should I feel down on myself for having emotions, I suppose, but just been on my mind a lot lately, as I tend to do. Or as I tend to think about the past, I think about all kinds of different things and wonder if I made the wrong choice, if I made the right choice. I think back to when I was hanging out in school with my friends and they would go out to parties and things like that. And I was never a very social person. So every time they would invite me, I'd be like, I'd pass on it. I'd be like, no, it's not really my style. It's not really my vibe. It's not really what I want to do with my time. If we're going to hang out, I'd rather just hang out, a couple of us or three of us or whatever. Not really trying to go to a crowded house party with a bunch of people I don't know. It's just not who I am. And then later in the night, I'm watching their Snapchat stories or their Instagram stories, and they're having this great time with all kinds of cool people. And it's like, man, maybe I should have gone with. Maybe I should have just sucked it up and done it. What's the worst that could have happened? And in many cases, nothing. I'm sure something could have gone wrong, but everything seemed to turn out fine, and I just missed out. And that sucks. But at the same time, that's the choice I wanted to make. That's what I wanted to do or not do for that instance, for that matter. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with not wanting to go out or not wanting to be social and party and whatever. Everybody's different. Everybody feels differently about things. Everybody handles things in different ways. Okay. So it's just something I've kind of had to come to accept, I suppose, that I'm just not a very social person and it's not really meant for me to go do those things. But it doesn't really ease the fact of that regret or that fear of missing out, I suppose you could call it, and that sitting and wondering about it and wondering if it would have been better or worse, whether you went or stayed, whatever situation it could apply to. There's tons of different situations that you can be regretful of. I know I've been using a few varied examples here. Another one, thinking back to my friends, it was one night that I did actually go out with a few of my friends, and we ended up going to this like abandoned factory, like a grain mill or some weird thing like that. And it was like a normal hangout spot in our high school because we're all a bunch of weirdos. We hang out in abandoned buildings and sewer tunnels. So it was like a known place that many, many people go to. Many, many people hang out, do things they're not supposed to. And we just simply called it the factory. I don't know if it even was an actual factory by any means, but it was a pretty big industrial building. And it was probably 2 in the morning when we're hanging out, and my buddy, the only one of us that could drive, goes, "Hey, let's go to the factory. Let's go explore and hang out in the factory." And I'm not very adventurous. I want to be. I try to be, but I'm really just not a very adventurous person. I don't go out. I don't do much. I don't travel as much as I want to. I just am not an adventurous person. And so I was immediately like arguing, not even arguing, but I was like, nah, let's just stay home or like go cruise around the city or something. Like, why do we have to go there? Why do we have to go hang out in some sketchy abandoned building? That's weird. And all of my friends completely disagree. They're like, nah, man, that sounds awesome. Let's go. Let's do it, whatever. So we did. I tagged along because I give in to peer pressure very easily. And when we got there, I very quickly realized there's not much to do in an abandoned factory unless you climb the sketchiest ladder I've ever seen. And I wouldn't say I have a crippling fear of heights, but I don't do well the higher up I go. I get very nervous very easily. So I take one look at this ladder and I go, I'm not climbing up there. I don't know how tall that is. I don't know how high up that goes, but my feet are staying planted right here on the ground. I'm not going up there. And all my friends are egging me on, talking about, oh, come on, don't be scared, whatever, just climb the ladder, whatever. I'm like, not happening. I'm not doing it. I am too afraid. I'm gonna fall. I'm gonna break something. Just not a good mix. Not a good place for me to be. Not a good place for me to go. And thankfully, one of my friends, my best friend at the time, stayed down with me. He stayed back with me, and he said, "You know what? You guys all go. I'll stay back with Evan. I'll hang out with Evan, you know, so he doesn't have to sit here alone and have no one to talk to, nothing to do." I'm very appreciative that he stayed back with me, but I felt really bad about it. I felt really horrible. The whole time we're hanging out, I was telling him, I was like, "Hey, man, you can go. You can go climb that ladder. You can go hang out with them. Go be the adventurous self that you are, because I know you. You are not me. You're not scared like me. You're not afraid of heights. You're not afraid of social situations. We are complete opposite people. He's very extroverted. I'm very introverted, and I felt so bad that he stayed back to just keep me company the whole time. I felt like I was keeping him from what he wanted to do and what he was hoping to do, what he came there for, and I felt so guilty about it. But that was his choice to make. I didn't force him to stay, obviously. He wanted to stay. He wanted to just be a good friend and keep me company while everybody else was climbing up and doing whatever. I'm very appreciative of that, but even still, sometimes I think back to that day and I'm like, was I in the wrong for being afraid? Should I have pushed harder to get him to go up? And I mean, it's not like anything major happened. It was just one silly night of hanging out with some buddies and doing stupid things we probably shouldn't have done, but I just felt so guilty and I felt so bad that I felt like I was just holding him back and I was holding him from whatever he should be doing or deserve to be doing, or and it's silly. It's really silly, especially thinking back on it now. It's like, why? He wanted to stay back. There's no reason to feel bad that he made that choice. But I guess part of it is I feel bad that I was so scared and I didn't want to go and I didn't want to climb the sketchy ladder and go and hang out with all of our friends. So I guess I felt a little guilty in a way, or just bad in general about my poor decision making. Not even poor decision making, but my own fear. And I regretted that for a while. It took me a long, not a long time, but it took me a while to just come to accept that, like, that's just how it is. Not every moment is going to be yours. Not every situation is meant for you. And you got to know when to say no. You got to know what you're built for, what you're made for. You got to know, oh my God, you shouldn't feel bad for feeling some type of way or just not wanting to partake in what everyone else is doing. And it's not like any of my friends tried to make me feel bad about it. Everybody understood and they all knew that I was scared of heights. They all knew the kind of person that I am. They knew what they signed up for by bringing me to a stupid place that I said I didn't want to go. They knew what they were signing up for, so they didn't really do anything to make me feel bad about it. I mean, sure, they tried to egg me on and get me to climb the ladder and whatever, but I was pretty sturdy with putting my foot down because I don't have confidence in myself, especially when it comes to climbing rickety ladders that look like they're gonna snap in half and cause me to break my neck. So I know, kind of a hyper specific story, but the point is still the same, that you shouldn't wallow in your regret. You shouldn't care that you made whatever decision it is you made, whether it was good or bad, whether people are trying to make you feel guilty about it or not. I mean, I spent a lot of years feeling very guilty that I couldn't muster up the strength to go to school, and many people around me made me feel horrible about it. My friends missed me, my parents were mad at me. People made me feel very, very bad for not feeling good enough to go to school or feeling strong enough or whatever the case was. Point being is everybody's different. Everybody can handle different things. Everybody makes their own choices. That's what life is all about. Life is full of decisions and full of choices, and you're going to make some stupid ones as you go on. As you grow up, you're going to make a lot of stupid choices, a lot of stupid decisions, and I guess you just have to learn to accept that. You got to learn to be okay with that, because everybody does. Nobody's perfect. Nobody can live a perfect life. I don't know why they have to ruin the beautiful landscape of my world with all these explosions, but I would like to just return back to my little friend back here somewhere. I guess that is all I really want to say today, is don't live a life of regrets, even if it is something you feel bad about or you feel stupid or guilty or anything of the sort. It was your choice to make. Maybe it wasn't your choice to make. Maybe it was forced upon you by some outside influence, parents, whatever. Doesn't really matter. But whatever happened, happened. It's over. It's in the past. And sure, there's some things that are going to have lasting repercussions. For instance, again, harping back to me and my school situation, I feel there have been a few. I don't like that sound. Oh my god. There have been a few things that I wonder if maybe I would have gone to school, things would be different. Maybe I'd have a different career if I went and got my diploma, or I went to college. Maybe I'd be a little smarter and I'd make better decisions with my money, or I would just be doing bigger and better things with my life and my time. But I made my choice, or a better way to put it, I made my bed and I will lie in it. That's how it'll be. It's how it has to be. There's no going back now. There's no changing what's already done. It's the way it is. It's the way it will. Not again. Oh my god. My beautiful landscape. Good lord. Anyways, what was I saying? That's just how it is. It's how it has to be. Not necessarily has to be, but it is how it has to be because it's already happened. It's already over. I can't go back to high school now. I'm 22. I wouldn't want to go back to high school now. It'd be really, really awkward. But that's, like I said, it's my bed that I lie in every day. And it's the choice that I made and the decisions that have led me to where I am. And I refuse to spend any more time worrying about it or regretting it or just contemplating it. There's no point to it. There's no reason other than to make myself feel bad. No reason to harp on about what could have been different or what could have been better or anything of that sort. It's just a waste of mental energy. And I guess I'm just tired of wasting my mental energy, to be honest. I'm tired of spending so much time full of regret and full of sadness and bitterness and like I want to be happy, you know? And there's a lot of reasons why I'm not happy, and harping on about my past is definitely one of them. So I'm trying to just do a better job at changing my mindset about a lot of things. And the past is a big one that I spend way too much time thinking about, way too much time worrying about. And well, I guess I want to share that message with you because maybe you're similar to me and you are living a life where you feel a bit of regret, or maybe you feel full of regret. Maybe you feel like you've made a lot of horrible decisions and you just feel like an utter screw up. Let me tell you, me too. I am a huge screw up. I'm a huge disappointment to who I could have been or should have been or who my parents wanted me to be. I am far, far, far from that. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody is on their own path. Everybody has their own journey. Everybody makes their own decisions. So no matter what, no matter who's trying to make you feel bad about it, doesn't matter. It's your life. It's your choices to make. You only got the one, so you better just do what feels best for you and don't waste your time wondering if it was the right or wrong choice, because I know I do spend way too much time wondering if I made the right choice or if I made the wrong choice. It's not worth it. It's never worth it. Just live, enjoy the moments, enjoy the day to day, enjoy the simplicity of it all. Don't worry about anything else. Just focus on you, focus on what makes you happy, focus on doing the best you can to be the best you possible, whether it's what people want you to do or not. Doesn't matter. It's your life to live. It's your choices to make. So you got to do, again, to repeat myself, you just got to do what's best for you. That's really all you can do. So hopefully that message comes through clear enough in this video. Now I've just kind of been harping on about all kinds of things, but I don't know. I've spent a lot of time this weekend, I suppose, overthinking, wondering, contemplating, just regretting. But I'm tired of it. Tired of the regret. I'm tired of the sadness. I'm just tired of it all. So maybe I'll do a better job at accepting the choices that I've made. Maybe I won't. Maybe I will feel immense regret and delete this video, and I doubt it though. I didn't even delete my breakdown videos, and I still am contemplating if that was a good idea or not. So, I don't know. But I'm trying to live a life of no regrets because it's the only life I have, and I'm gonna enjoy it to the most degree that I can. 'Cause that's all I can do. So hopefully you can do the same. If you enjoyed this video, I have a lot more because I spend way too much time talking to myself. But if you're full of regrets or if you feel like a disappointment, then, well, welcome to the club. Maybe you'll enjoy this video that will pop up in, I don't know, 30 seconds or something. I'm not sure. I'm not very good at planning out end screens and things like that. I don't even have a thumbnail for this video. I really shouldn't even be rambling about this. I should just do an outro, but I felt like I had more to say, and it's all blanking on me now. So maybe there'll be a part 2 in the future where I figure out what else I regret in my long but not long life. Anywho, thanks for listening. I love you. I appreciate you. If you feel like a disappointment, you should watch this video right here.